இல்ல இல்ல நீங்க ஸ்டாப் ஷேரிங் கொடுத்துட்டு
ஓகே
மறுபடியும் பிரசன்ட் கொடுங்க.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே.
ஜெனரல் don't present, so only the speaker can present. If you present in between, then you will not get the slide from our speaker.
Yes, okay, we can move on.
Carry on, Deepan.
So welcome you all for this orientation program for PU entrance 2021. So before we move on to section, we should know what is ERIP movement, what we are doing. So ERIP movement na Pondicherry Union Territory students kaga Pondicherry University la சில கோர்சஸ்க்கு ரிசர்வேஷன் இருக்கு, இல்லாத கோர்சஸ்க்கு கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண ஒரு மூமெண்ட் தான். ஸோ நம்மளோட அப்ஜெக்டிவ் என்னன்னா, பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனியன் டெரிட்டரியில் இருக்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் யாரெல்லாம் பியூக்கு அங்கே போய் படிக்கணும், ஹையர் எஜுகேஷன் அப்படின்ட்டு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்ல இருக்காங்களோ அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஃபெசிலிட்டேட் பண்ணி கொண்டு வர்றது தான். ஸோ நம்ம இந்த ஓரியன்டேஷன் வந்து அந்த அளவுக்கு மட்டும் ஸ்ட்ரிக்டாக பண்ணலை. நம்ம வந்து யார் யாரெல்லாம் அக்ராஸ் நேஷன் யார் யாரெல்லாம் நம்ம ஓரியன்டேஷனில் பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணுறாங்களோ, ஈவன் டிஎன்ல இருந்து தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருந்து நிறைய பேர் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ எல்லாரையும் வந்து ஃபெசிலிட்டேட் பண்ணி அவங்களுக்கான ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரீமில் கொண்டு வரதுக்காக தான் இந்த ஓரியன்டேஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம். ஸோ இன்னைக்கு காலையில் வந்து இங்கிலீஷ் செஷன் முடிஞ்சிருச்சு. இப்போ we are going to see exclusively for MCOM, Accountant Taxation and Business Finance. So we have our special guest, Dr. R. Perumal Raja here. He is currently pursuing his PhD in Commerce. He has recently gave his synopsis. So he will be talking about what are the scopes and opportunities for MCOM students and how to prepare the MCOM PU entrance, and whatever doubts you have, you can clarify with him. We can have this section in both English and Tamil. So யாரும் எதுவும் worry பண்ணிக்க வேணாம், தமிழ்ல இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல. ஜஸ்ட் யூ இஃப் யூ ஹாவ் எனி டவுட் டூரிங் திஸ் செக்ஷன், நீங்க அந்த சாட் பாக்ஸ்ல வந்து queries சாட் பாக்ஸ்ல வந்து டெஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்க. So after the section we will solve your queries. So now I invite Dr. Perumal Raja to handle this section.
Yeah. Is it audible, right?
Yes, ma'am. You can proceed. Yes, ma'am.
Right, fine. Yeah, very warm good afternoon on and all. Right, all the participants. Now I'm going to present on how to crack the entrance of Pondicherry University and in the stream of commerce, right? And I want to start the presentation with the quote, right? So, a quality education grants us the ability to fight the war on ignorance and poverty. So, once you are getting a quality education, you can fight the war, like war in the sense of how what are the ignorance you have, and we can eradicate our poverty with the help of the quality education, right? Then talking to our Department of Commerce. Yes. So it is one of the pioneering department in Pondicherry University. Started in the year 1985 itself, right? It's a very one of the pioneering department in Pondicherry University. And we are in Commerce department. We are offering 2 courses, like very specialized with the business finance as well as accounting taxation. We have a good scope. Once you studied business finance, we have a good scope in the field of finance, especially those who want to become a professional in the field of derivatives or commodity markets, and as well as stock markets, and all very special to the finance. And accounting taxation is started in the year 2011-12 to supplementing the manpower. Like mostly we are preferring CA, CS peoples and cost management accounting peoples to handle the accounting and taxation things. But our course, like accounting and taxations, will help you to get a good knowledge in accounting as well as in the field of taxation. And taking to the intake, while speaking the intake, this is business finance. We have a reservation for the Pondicherry people, right? In this year 2020, Business Finance Pondicherry campus is offering 91 seats. Out of 91 seats, we'll get a 25% reservation, especially to the peoples of Pondicherry. In Pondicherry, in the sense, like we'll get Puducherry, Mahi, and Yanam. So with these three districts of Puducherry, we'll fight for this 91 seats. Like out of 91 seats, we'll get 25% reservation. For this 25% reservation, Puducherry, Mahi, and Yanam is eligible. In Karaikal campus, we have 50 seats. For this 50 seats, 25% is reserved only for the Karaikal natives, right? And total intakes will be 141. So you can use this opportunity to join in Business Finance, both Pondicherry campus as well as Karaikal campus. And in the case of accounting and taxation, only it is available in Pondicherry campus. Like 75 seats are floated. There is no special reservation for the Pondicherry people, but you will get other reservations in the open. And with this, I want to tell you some more courses in our universities offering to the commerce students, like BCom, and especially for the BCom students, like MBA FinTech is available, offered by the Department of Banking Technology. Like for this course, this is like it's a self-financing course. The MCom, so BCom students and BCom computer application students and BCom information technology students and the BCom e-commerce students are eligible to apply for this course. And another course is floated by the Department of International Business. So that is MBA Logistic and Supply Chain Management. So anybody can join in this course with a minimum 50% of their marks, I think 55%. And in another department, like Department of Commerce as well as Department of Statistics, in the collaboration, they started one interdisciplinary program in MSc Quantitative Finance, which is coming under the School of Mathematics. So there, BCom students is eligible for this course also. You will get, they are offering 38 seats. These are the seats is specially meant for BCom students. After completing your BCom, you can join. You can prefer these courses in addition to MCom, Business Finance, as well as Accounting and Taxation. When coming to the fee structure, when you're going to join in the Business Finance as well as in Accounting and Taxation, you need to pay 20,000 for the first semester, and remaining semesters will be like 3,200 and 11,200 for the third semester, and fourth semester again 3,200, excluding the fees of exam fees and all. So yesterday itself, or yesterday, a day before yesterday, they are speaking about the scholarship and merit things and all. So once you are, maybe you hear those things, I think. So you will get for the reservation peoples, you will get waived off. You are able to waive off your fees, like whatever paid. That means like நீங்க என்னென்னலாம் பே பண்ணிருக்கீங்களோ அந்த அமௌண்ட்டை வந்து reservation students வந்து திரும்ப எடுத்துக்கலாம், especially for Pondicherry students. So and as well as நீங்க meritorious students are இருந்தனா department itself they will give you the fellowship, like fellowship, okay, meritorious scholarship and all. So these are all discussed earlier classes, I think. So no. Then these are the syllabus you need to address when if you are, especially for Business Finance and Accounting Taxation students. You will get 100 multiple choices questions. For each question you will get 4 marks, right? If you are wrongly putting an answers, 1 mark will be deducted. So you will able to secure 400 marks. So based on the merit, you will get a seat. So out of 100 questions, at the maximum, what are the questions you can apply. Then don't make like based on luck or something like, and don't answer the questions in the way of guessings, right? It's not a syllabus actually. It's like areas you need to address. It's like for BCom students, you are having the knowledge of financial accounting, cost accounting. So the field of accounts, what are the accounts you are having? You need to study so just recollect what are the things you studied in your UG. Like no need to worry about what so accounting is there, so vast syllabus. It's not like that. What are the things you studied in your UG? That is much enough to crack this entrance, right? So most of your questions will be coming from your accounting and banking. This is like like accounting, banking, organizational behavior, taxations, insurance, this kind. And for this, especially for accounting and taxation students, will mostly the questions will be related with accounting and legal aspects of business and business economics and all. So once go through the questions of previous year question papers, you are able to identify where maximum number of questions are coming for the entrance. So you don't want to worry, because for this MCOM business finance as well as accounting taxation is for BCom general, CS people as well as computer application people. Though for all the BComs it is are eligible for this course. So for that they want to address all the people. That's why they are included corporate secretary, cooperation, foreign trade and all. So questions also coming from this part, like some 5 questions or 6 questions will come. So you don't want to worry. So if you are basically you just concentrate on your papers, what you already studied, and in addition you can get the knowledge of what is company secretaryship, what is this role. Those kind of some general knowledge will be much enough to crack this entrance. And so now we will going to see the questions, right? What are the questions? These are I choose some questions which are taken from your previous year question papers. So these are some basic questions. Our question paper setting systems will be like, if you are dividing the entire question paper out of 100 marks, you will get like some 30% will be some easy questions, and 30% will be moderates, and 30% will be some little harder questions will be there. So while looking the question itself, don't get frustrated and don't think it will be not knowing like that. So just wait and go through the entire questions, and you will able to answer maximum of some 40 to 50 questions. Don't worry. So if you are having a base knowledge of accounts and commerce or BCom syllabus, so it will be much enough. So first question, which among the following has not started commercial banking? So it's like a very straightforward question, which out of this, which one is not doing now any commercial banking things, right? So what is the meaning of commercial banking? First of all, you want to know that now, then only you able to answer. So what is commercial banking? They're offering they're accepting deposit and lending loans. What are the normal some commercial banks when you're looking to the nearby branches of your any banks like in your place? These are all some commercial banks like Indian Bank or IDBI. So this kind of banks. So after this, after looking the options, like first one is like SIDBI. It's like Small Industrial Development Bank of India. It's some banks are started for different purpose, but later on they are coming to commercial purpose only. So Small Industrial Development Bank and UTI. UTI means Union Trust of India. Now that UTI is now converted as Axis Bank. So as you know, Axis Bank is accepting deposit and all. So IDBI also, once you are looking nearby branches and all, IDBI also having commercial things, and the ICICI also having commercial. Out of this, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, that means SIDBI only is not a commercial bank. They are lending the loans to, especially to the small entrepreneurs, those who are doing small business and all. Then second question, like the theory of absolute cost advantage is given by whom? So these questions are very straightforward question. You don't have guessing and all. Simple question, who gave this theory? So for this answer is Adam Smith. These are all very straightforward questions. And I want to tell you one more thing. When you are studying now, so having go through like for your entrance, you just concentrate on the theories. Who gave the theories? Like for which mostly the principles of management, we having that need hierarchy theory, XY theories. Those theories are definitely will get some 1 question or 2 question from these theories. So when you're go through for theoretical aspects, that time you just know the theory when it's coming into picture and who gave this theory. So based on which you can able to answer. These are all very straightforward question, and it's like easy question also. Then third one is, according to Companies Act 2013, which of the following is treated as non-current investment? So which are the things are non-current investment? So, so investment in a government securities, like it's not like a current investment. So when you are investing in government security, to take a time for more than a period of 1 year and all, like and investment in bonds, investment in mutual funds. So investment in a, sorry, I want to tell you one more thing. Non-current investment, sorry, I know. So just see the word non-current investment. That means it's not a current investment. So it's having a maturity period of more than a year. So government securities having more than a year. Investment in a bond, so like a long-term investment, and investment in a mutual funds are a long-term investment. So those who are not, which is not realized, that means like which is not get matured within a year, like before 365 days, you can treat this as non-current investment. That means long-term investment. So for this one is answer is all the above. See, again, I tell you what no, banks, when you're looking for the banks like which is more related with finance, import and exports and all, you want to know the year which is established and all. So for this fourth question, also very direct question, Exim Bank is established in the year, in which year it is got established. So Exim Bank is established in the year 1982. So for this, in addition, I will give you the example like when it started the Small Industrial Development Bank of India. So likewise the question like, and when is that ECGC started? So likewise you want to, when you are studying this getting answer for the previous year question paper itself, you will get additional answers for this. So when you are go through the question papers, even you can look into the other options like related with the exams, related with the development banks and all. So in mostly in the bank aspect, they won't go very poor, right? They are not going very interior to the questions. They are just looking at the years and all. Then what is the treasury bill? Those kind of questions will arise. So for this fourth question, Exim, what is first of all Exim Bank? Exim Bank is like a import and export bank which was set up in the year 1982. For what purpose? It is for financing, facilitating and promoting foreign trades in India. So this question will be both a way eligible, like it's for, this is syllabus from foreign trade as well as syllabus from banking. This covered, like. So who is the profounder of capital structure theory? Capital structure theory is as a number of persons are giving this theory for capital structure, right? So when you're studying the capital structure, so you just know who are all the person, what type of theory they gave. So basically the profounders are Modigliani and Millers. They are the base propounders for the capital structure theory. In addition to this, they are giving different approaches in the capital structure. Like when you are studying the financial management, in that capital structure is a part, right? So in that part, so many theories are there, like net income approach and net operating income approach. Then laissez-faire economic things, like those things are there. So who gave the net income approach? David Durant gave that net income approach, and like a net operating income approach also given by Durant. So if they are giving, who is chance of State Commission? If you are guessing, there will be a guessing like this. And finally, that the seventh question is like you people's very known, no? So when you are studying the management accounting, you will get you will do lot of ratio analysis and all. So it's like a sum, right? It's a very simple question. Current ratio is 2:1. Working capital is 60,000. What is the value of current asset? So first for this, you want to know what is the formula for current ratio. So it's very easy. Current asset divided by current liability. So it will be like 2:1. That means current asset is 2. Current liability is 1. So what is the formula for working capital? Current asset minus current liability. So working capital. So I'll type here how to find the answer. So liability. So next 60,000 is a working capital. It means current asset already stated 2. Okay. So current asset minus current liability. If you want to know what is the current asset, so current asset is equal to current ratio is equal to current asset divided by current liability. So what is the answer is 2 is equal to CA divided by sorry. So see, current asset is already in an equal sign, so no need to worry. So current liability is in a minus signs. So it will come to here, it will be like current liability plus 60,000. So automatically it will be same. So current asset will be already found, right? So current asset is equal to current liability plus 60,000. Here we need to know only current asset in the question, so it goes differently. So current liability, current ratio is equal to 2, and current asset we want to found. So we need to keep current assets as like, and divided by, here you can write the same as in different way also. Current asset minus 60,000, right? Now current liability, if is go there, that side it will get plus, and if the 60,000 will come this side, positive will coming that next to the equalization symbol, it will come the minus. So you can write, you can divide this working capital with a you will able to find current asset also, you can able to find current liability also. So now we are in the place of current liability, we are going to paste current asset minus 60,000. Automatically the form answer will be like, the outside 2 will be same, then current this division, what will be in the denominator, it will go next side, it will also automatically goes to the multiplication. So is equal to current asset. So if you are multiplying with the 2 current asset minus 120,000 is equal to current asset. So minus 120 equal to current asset minus 2 current asset. So minus 120 is equal to minus current asset. So minus into minus, it automatically will cancel. So current asset is equal to, answer will be 120,000. So like while we are doing this, like I don't have that much knowledge in typing, so it will get delayed. So when you are proceed with in your exam, it will be like within 1 minute you are able to answer this question. So for this answer is 120,000. And next question is, which subject is relevant to study consumer behavior? So consumer behavior is studied by which subject, right? Consumer behavior is how the consumer is behaving for purchasing your goods or something like that. It's like it's like a marketing strategy. And behavior in the sense how we behave, it's like it will be predicted psychologically, and how we behave in the social, like when you're going to marketplace, how we are behaving with your next person. So it's having a relationship with the sociology. And consumer in the word itself is having a economic term, how we are, so buying and selling, it takes in the picture when it goes to market. So automatically economic also comes into picture in this part. So consumer behavior is a combination of psychology, sociology, as well as economics. So for this question, answer is all the above. It's not a FEMA, actually Foreign Exchange Regulation Authority or Act. So FERA, first of all, FERA is in a picture. It was started in the year 1973 itself. Then later in the year 1999, only the FEMA replaces the FERA with some modification. It helps to the foreign exchange management, like what are the things like transporting and help, financial activities for these and all monitored by the central government. So they are the adjudicating authority to the FEMA. In the 10th question, at the time of admission of new partner, the general reserve is transferred to, actually in the partnership account, like it is in the it's coming under financial accounting. That the general reserve is earned by the old partners. So automatically it goes to the old partners capital account. So no way it's related to new profit or loss account or profit loss account, adjustment account and balance sheet. So it will automatically goes to the old partners capital accounts, because it's hard earned money of the old partners. So if you are going for a new partnership and if a new partners cannot be enjoy this general reserve, that's why it's automatically goes to the old partners capital accounts. And next one is EOQ. It's like cost accounting. EOQ, economic ordering cost. So in this question, they are asking where, with the help of EOQ, where we can minimize the cost, right? So in the case of total interest of the total interest cost will be reduced, or total inventory cost will be reduced, or safety of stock level will be reduced, or something like they're asking. So mostly that EOQ is used to maintaining the stock level for production and all. So in this question, total interest cost and other cost also plays a major role. And one more thing here, most of the questions are also like an answer, but their question will be asked like, choose the best one out of this answer, which one is more appropriate to this question which is asked. So mostly EOQ reduce the holding cost, like how long you can hold an asset, or how long you can hold a stock for a production or selling, those kind, and how long, when is the next ordering. So how we can reduce the ordering cost, and how long how to reduce the storage cost. So these are the costs will be reduced using the EOQ method out of other total interest, stocks safety level, and the total ordering cost and all. Then next question again, it's like the 12th question is very straight question and easy question also. Who gave the theory of hierarchy needs? Hierarchy needs is coming under principles of management, as well as in the place of motivation theory. So even you can link it in the HR also, it will be coming. So it's a motivational theory, needs hierarchy theory. It's like a pyramid kind of theory, when you are drawing a picture, it's like self-esteem needs are the basic needs, psychological, physiological needs, social needs, those kind of needs. The 5 needs will be addressed in the hierarchy needs. So who gave this theory? So this theory is given by Maslow's. Mostly the needs hierarchy theory, the needs theory is coming in the given by Maslow's. So again, this is what I already stated in principles of management. What are the theories will be there? Like again, I'll tell you that XY theories and all. So you just know the theory as well as their author's name. Definitely you will get the questions, right? In this part itself, we saw 2 questions. And in the 13th question, is an expression of market sensitivity. Dash is an expression of market sensitivity of an investment and how volatile it is compared with the normal volatility of market. So it's like it is in a statistics question as well as in here it's in portfolio management and all we study. It's a first of all it's a basic CAPM model, right? So in CAPM model, alpha plus beta, RM minus RF. So how you measure the risk or how you measure the volatility. Sensitive in this case, sensitive means risk of the investment. In the CAPM model, beta is the risk, measurement of risk. So alpha plus beta, RM minus RF. In the CAPM model, beta is stating that how much risk will be addressed. So beta is the answer for this question. So this is like moderate question. So it's like a statistical question as well as that it's in CAPM. We are studied in a financial management and the dividend policies and all, and the investment decision things in financial management. And 14th question again, ratio analysis in management accounting. You just go through the ratios as much as like already we saw current ratios and all addressed. So again in ratio analysis also you'll get more questions to understand what is solvency ratio, what is profitability ratio, what is profitability ratios, turnover ratio, solvency ratio, out of solvency ratio, what are the short-term solvency and what are the long-term solvency ratios. So you must go through all the ratios, and with the formula it will be able to answer already with sum also it will come, as well as dividend will come. Dividend payout ratio is equal to dividend per share divided by earning per share. So DPS divided by EPS. So those these kind of direct questions will be get good marks. Without any guesses you can able to answer. And in the 15th question, which one of the following is not a measures of dispersion? What is dispersion? Dispersion means how long how much it is deviated from your mean or average. So when you draw a probability curve, and when you're fixing your mean value, how long it is deviated from others, it's called dispersion. So dispersion is measured with the help of standard deviation. So answer is already there. Standard deviation you can able to measure. Range, which part to which one, which x1 to x2, this is called a range. So it is also measured how much it is deviated, that is dispersion. And mean deviation, again how much deviation, the word itself there, how much it is deviated. The quartile, what is quartile? Quartile is also called median. Second quartile, when you are studying the central in statistics, that measure of central tendency and all. So in that quartile, mean, average, mode, those things are already studied. In that third quartile, first quartile, like that we've studied. In that second quartile is also called median. So median is measured as central measure of central tendency. So in that it measures where it will be placed, where is the most frequent value, those kind of things is called. In mode, where is the most frequent word will be is mode, and what midpoint will be called median. So median is quartile. Second quartile is also called median. So in the question, which one is not a measure of dispersion? not a measure in the sense quartile is not a measure of dispersion. And this is for a question for a foreign trade. And ultimately dash was replaced by dash. The 16th question, gate, that means like general agreement for trade and tariff, was replaced by WTO, that means World Trade Organization, in the year 1995. Here also you need to study that what is IMF and what is GATS, and also if you are go through this, you will get question from this part also. And when it started, when its IMF came into picture, what is Bretton Woods system, what is crawling peg, what is gold standard. So when it is abolished, when you look those kind, right? Very this kind of, these are all some general knowledge questions is related to finance, as very special to international trade and foreign trade. And 17th question is public issue must be kept for how many days you can open a public issue. Public, how long, when a company goes for a public issue, how long the public issue will be open. So public issue is open with the minimum period is 3 days. At least they need to open for 3 days, and maximum days will be only for 10 days. We can open the public issue only within the period of 3 to 10 days only. So the 3 days will be the minimum period you need to keep open, right? And 10 days will be the maximum period for a public issue. And this one, how here correlation coefficient they are telling to calculate. What is the correlation coefficient between this? So in statistics you studied already, right? Correlation, regression, and all. In that to find the regression, we can use the formula x minus x bar is equal to r standard deviation x divided by standard deviation y into y minus y bar. To replacing that r standard deviation x standard deviation y, we are using the formula like b on b yx as well as b xy. In that part, to find the correlation coefficient, if you are placing for this one, small formula is that to find the correlation coefficient, that is correlation, that means r is equal to square root of beta xy into beta yx. So here the square root of 0.25 into square root of 0.64. That means like square root of 0.25 is 5, square root of 0.64 is 8. When you are multiplying this 5 into 8, you will get the point of 0.40. So here the correlation coefficient is 0.40. And these are the small formulas you want to study from statistics also. And then dividend net sales. So dividing the net sales by average debtors. So here in this question also, see from ratio analysis, they gave the answer and asking which ratio is this, right? Dividing the net sales, that means like net sales divided by average debtors. See, mostly like in this place of net sales, they will give net credit sales also. So it is obviously, and then again see that 28th question is representing from principles of management as well as HR. So XY theories of motivation is proposed by whom? So already I stated that who proposed the XY theory. So XY theory is proposed by MC Gregor, and in the year 1960. Then here also we can able to, what are the points discussed in X, what are the points discussed in Y theory. So it's very 2-3 points, you just go through that, and it will also ask in the questions like it is part of X theory or it is part of Y theory, like that questions will arise. And William Uchi also gave some Z theory, so it is also in the point of motivation theory. So you can go through all the theories with the author's name, so it will be easy to answer some 2-3 questions. And so this one is from depreciation. See here, it's also very direct question. Cost of asset is 21,000. With the end of the period, the scrap value will be 1,000. What is the annual depreciation value? So annual depreciation value also they gave 10%. What will be depreciation per annum? So actually, asset minus scrap value will be the cost of asset, for which we need to calculate the depreciation. So 20,000 for the 20,000 we need to take the 10% of the 20,000. It's called only 2,000. So answer will be 2,000. And again, one more example I gave in this question. So ABC Limited acquires a machine. See here the period is very important. They buy the machine in the period of 1st July. That is half of the month, because they close at the end of the period is 31st December. So the machine bought in in the mid month. That means like in the month of July. So you can, when you are calculating the depreciation value, you need to divide 1/2 in the end. Like 6-month period depreciation alone we need to calculate for this year. So see here cost of a machinery is 1,28,000 and the installation charge is 20,000. So you need to accumulate these two, you will get 3 lakhs. So for this 3 lakh you need to found the 10% of the original cost. So 30,000. For the half of the year we need to calculate the depreciation. Answer will be 15,000. In the 22nd question, the ratio establishes the relation between profit before interest and tax and fixed interest charges. That is PBIT divided by fixed interest charges. So this is also like they gave the answer, they are asking the ratio. So for this one, interest coverage ratio is equal to PBIT divided by fixed interest charges. So likewise, when you are studying the again I'm telling you, if you are studying read all the ratios, you will get able to answer at least 3 to 4 questions from the in our business finance as well as accounting entrance examination, right? And the third question, so 23rd question, best indicator of economic development in a country. Which is the best example? Like mostly that macroeconomic indicators like GDP and all will be the example, but here it's a gross production only they gave. In agriculture we can't know how much we are producing agriculture goods. It's not a development of nation. What is the per capita income is the indicator of development of nation, right? How much income is earned by a individual, single person, individual is made. It is calculated with the help of total income by the area divided by total person. So if one state is so suppose Indian total income is like 1 lakh, this is divided by 100%. So answer will be 10,000 per head. So per capita income is 10,000. So likewise they will calculate the per capita income. It shows the development of the economy. In case here the GDPs and all shown, we can go for a GDP. And Reserve Bank of India was established in the year. It's a very big, very base question from banking. Reserve Bank of India, when it's established, it is established in the year 1935, 1st April 1935, right? So again, when it got nationalized, so another question will come, when Reserve Bank of India it get nationalized? It is nationalized in the year 1949, 1st January 1949. So likewise, from the question itself, we are able to ask some more questions and you'll able to find answer for that. Reserve Bank of India is not the first Bank of India, right? SBI, that means like Imperial Bank of India is the very first bank from India. That is called Imperial Bank. Imperial Bank is the very pioneering or very old bank in India. So it is started with the amalgamation. That means like it is merging of 3 banks. Like so, before Imperial Bank also, Indian colonies, like when we are in with freedom fighting moments and all, we are in a colonial period, like Madras Presidency, Bombay Presidency, Kolkata Presidency, like that we are in a presidency kind of. That time 3 presidential banks was merged and they started Imperial Bank in the year 1921 itself. So which is the oldest bank of India is Imperial Bank. What is the present status of Imperial Bank is State Bank of India. So State Bank of India is also called the Imperial Bank of India. When State Bank of India is got emerged in the year 1955. So for this question itself, you want to go through some more questions and you will able to answer at least one question in the next entrance like that. So if you are go through the previous year question paper itself, you will able to found what will be the question will come to your next entrance. Like direction is a managerial function performed by. So I'm giving a direction to you. It's like a managerial function. Who will perform this question? Subordinate never direct to any other subordinates. Then middle level managers like supervisor, they will give direction, but it's like a managerial function. Mostly the top level managers are only giving the direction. So you do this, you do that. Like they're giving the direction. Like they. So answer will be that top level managers are that persons who giving the direction. So their managerial function is mostly giving directions only. So the next question is NPA. NPA belongs to banking. Again, so here also this is a very straight question. NPA stands for what? NPA stands for non-performing assets. So it's not again the same non-performance asset they are giving. No, it's like non-performing assets, not a non-performance assets. So answer will be non-performing assets. So what is NPA first of all? NPA is a loan or advance which is not repaid, right? If I'm getting a loan from a bank, I'm not repaying the loan to the bank for a period of 90 days. It's considered as non-performing assets, right, for the bank. So it will be further divided into like non-performing assets will be divided as like substandard assets and doubtful assets and loan assets, right? So how we can divide this based on the period of non-payment, right? If it is less than a period of 12 months, it will be considered as substandard assets. If it goes beyond the 12-month period, it will be considered as doubtful assets. Whether it will come or not, we don't know, like that. And lastly, that loan asset will be considered as uncollectible assets. After this 12 months, more than 12 months we are waited and they are not able to repay, so it will consider as loan assets. And also called loss assets, right? So it will be considered mostly considered as loss of asset for the bank. The 27th question: costs that are traceable to the cost unit. If I'm if I'm producing one unit, one mobile or something, right? What is the cost of the mobile? What are the things will directly shown in that? So if I'm looking for the mobile, it shows the display, those things and all. What you can directly able to see how much we paid the wage and how much we paid. What is the cost we make for the mobile? So these are all coming under material cost and transportations of raw material in. Those things will be the direct cost. So if I'm looking at product or a unit of product, the cost which is traceable is only direct cost. You can't able to find that indirect cost. That means like I spend to buy a lubricant for the machine. It won't be shown after producing of unit, right? Like means if after the finishing product of a phone, you can't able to see what are the managers worked for this, but you can able to see the wage. That means labor work. Without labor work, mobile cannot be like assembled and all. But managerial function may not be needed to assemble a mobile. So the managerial functions are coming under indirect cost. Whether they pay the rent, it's again the questions. So fixed cost will not become, and overall cost also will not be considered for this traceable unit. So traceable cost will be considered as direct cost. And under which the 28th question, under which section of Income Tax Act 1961 income tax of political party is exempted? So if I'm having a political party, I don't want to pay the tax. So it is which part, which act will be give this freedom, which will give this exemption? Under 13A of the act will give this exemption of the income tax, right? They having some eligibility criteria. If I started one party, it shows like it may not be a party, right? Suppose I'm having today I'll start I'm having a movement, so I'll start one party, political party. Sir, I have a political party, I have this asset, so give me exemption. They won't give. So you need to properly apply to the registration of political party under section 29A of the Representation of Public Act 1951. Those who are all in the Representation of People Act, that means RPA, only eligible for this 31A of this income tax exemption, right? That is 100% exemption from the for the political parties. What are the amount they are getting from the people to for that organization is 100% exemption from income tax. And the 29th question is also again from ratio. The type of ratio is used to determine the ability of firm owner to commit towards the repayment, right? So which ratio is help to know the that means creditors whether they will repay or not. So debt service ratio will help the creditors whether the bank or whether the institute having capacity to repay their interest and principal amount. So with the help of debt service ratio will be this question, which is very directly from your book, right? So in your management accounting book, right, or some Reddy and Murthy book, the question, this is the first line of the debt service ratio. This is a very direct question. When you have studied this ratio analysis, you are able to answer. And the test of measure of person strength, dexterity and coordination. Which test is useful to measure the person's strength and all? So it is from HR question. So if I'm a person, so how I can able to measure my strength? So with the help of psychometric test only. So with the person strength, dexterity and coordination test will be used by measures with the help of psychometric test only. And then aptitude test is used for different purpose, like how you are able to what is your capacity to learn the new things, like what is your ability to learn new things, like, and job knowledge, what is the knowledge you are having to do this job. And proficiency test is used to test how you are able to work in our organization, those kind. But to measure your strength and coordinations, those kind will be with the help of psychometric test. When you're finding answer for this, and so many tests will be there to measure the person's during the interview periods in the job description. It is a basic HR question in the part of job. So personality test will be there, interest test is there, polygraphic test is there, graphology test is there. So graphology test will be a handwriting test. With the help of your handwriting, they will be able to predict how you are. So those kind of tests will be there to predict the applicants. And so macroeconomic is study done on. So the 31st question will be macroeconomic study is done on what? So what is macroeconomic first of all? Macroeconomy means the study the whole, that means like whole the nation. It's not like a part of nation. It's not study a part of a particular person or an industry like that. So overall, it's like mostly macroeconomic variables are stated like GDP, per capita income of a nation. So those kind, right? So they won't bother about the small units and also these are all small enterprises is microeconomic. Money matter of a company. For a particular company is like particular companies is like it's not a macroeconomy. It's like like particular companies aspect, right? And the individual, macroeconomy is not worried about a particular individual. So it's like worried about the entire nation. So money matter of a nation is answer for the macroeconomic study. So likewise, you can go through the questions, like most of the questions, like after this also, so much of questions will be very directly, like goodwill, copyright, trademarks are classified as what. So we can't goodwill, copyright and all we can't touch, right? Only we can able to feel. So those kind of assets are intangible assets. It's not able to see. So it's not a current asset. It's just a intangible assets. These are all very direct questions from a +2 level, right? So these are very, very, very easy questions. So in this 32nd question, which of the following would not reflect the working capital decision? See, amount of inventory kept on hand. So inventory is a part of working capital, current asset. Invest in a new machine. Machine is not a current asset. It's like it's a fixed asset. So it may not coming under working capital. So the next one is grant credit given to customer. I'm giving a credit to the customer. What will happen? And instead of that, my current liability will get raised. So automatically working capital will be affected. Then that amount of cash kept in the bank automatically reflect in working capital. But I invest in a new machinery, it won't reflect in the working capital. It will be reflected in a fixed asset, right? So, and the 34th one, an offer made to the public in general, which anyone can accept and do the desire of act. I'm giving an offer to you, who offer in general to anybody can accept, right? So this is not a special offer, and the question itself answer will be there. It's a general offer. If a special offer means I'll give you specially to particular person X, right? He will only able to accept. So whether I'll ask the question, Mr. X, whether you want this buy this one or not. So he will able to answer yes or no. In general, I'm asking, I'm going to sell my car. Anybody is willing, so anybody can accept the order. Say yes, sir, I'll accept. So this is very general question. So those kind, so you can address this offer. This is coming under contract business regulatory framework, assessment legal aspects of business. And the 35th question is the credit purchase transaction of this goods is recorded in, obviously it is recorded in purchase book. So it won't be recorded in the cash book because it's a credit purchase. So likewise, it won't be coming under sales book because it's a purchase, and it will reflect in a. So in mostly companies, they won't maintain creditors book. They will have a creditors ledger in a purchase book. In the purchase book, creditor X, creditor Y, creditor is that like that, it will be displayed. So it will mostly represent in a purchase book. The principle of unity of command plays in. What will be the answer like here? Unity of command, that means instruction from a line authority. That means I'll get the unity of command means I'll get only one command from the boss. That means from my superior. For example, I will get a command from my superior person. Suppose if we are working in an organization as a worker, your command from your foreman only. For the foreman, the command from a supervisor. For a supervisor, the command from a manager. Likewise, it will be a line organization. It may not be a staff organization. Staff cannot be, worker may not be coming under the unity of command, because supervisor will give one command, and your foreman will give one command. It may not be a unity of command. So answer will be instruction from a line authority. So again, the next question is from insurance. Like what will the contract of insurance made between two parties. So who are the parties? If I'm having an insurance contract, that means I'm getting a buying bike insurance. The contract between me and the company, not by any agent, right? So agent is suppose one person is helping you to buy that insurance. He may not be responsible for your insurance. That for your insurance, the company is a sole person responsible. So it will be a contract between insurer as well as insured. Insurer is called a company. Insured is a person who you are insuring. And the 38th will be, what is the time limit for holding a financial asset to be called short-term capital? So which are all called short-term capital? The short-term capital is called, it's not a short-term asset, so we can't tell like it is less than 12 months. They are telling short-term capital asset, right? So capital asset, like we are buying a securities and also it will coming under the in as per the Income Tax Act, 36, not more than 36 months is called short-term capital asset. So it is coming under income tax, right? This question belongs to income tax, the 38th question. And 39th question, and amount became payable only on the occurrence of event is called. So the question will be that amount of payable. So I'll give money only when that event is occur. So what type of liability is that? That is not a short-term liability, right? Short-term liability is like creditors. So that is not only one occurrence, right? Already once I will buy some good from X, I need to pay within a year. That is called short-term liability. That is also called current liability. And provision, right? Provisions are kept aside for future liabilities. Suppose I want to pay the current bill, that is my liability. For that I'm holding some money for the provision for current liability. That is not the occurrence, right? The contingent liability means when it's may occurrence or may not occurrence. If rain comes, I'll bring umbrella. So this that is kind, it may not be, it's not sure, right? Damn sure rain will come. So that those kind of situation will arise, that kind of liability will arise. It is called contingent liability. So the best example is that I will hold some money if it is lost. No, if it is lost, depending upon the situation, I'll use this money. So suppose if fire accident will happen, I'll use this money. So those kind of liability is contingent liability. Suppose if fire accident may happen or may not happen, if it has happened, then only we will able to use this money. So that is called contingent liability. And 40th question is the loss of sale of furniture of a non-performing organization is reflected in. So it's also coming under the income tax as well as the financial accounting. Loss of sale of furniture of non-profit organization is not a profit organization, it is a non-profit organization. They don't maintain any P&L account, profit loss account, and also they are only maintaining receipts and payments account and the income and expenditure accounts. Okay, so mostly that non-profit organization, they are using only receipts and payment. Whatever the money is coming, they will put as a receipt. Whatever the money is going out, it will be considered as payment account, and they will mention some income is raised, they will show it is an income, and some loss will happen, it shows in an expenditure. So that is like they are using only two accounts. Then it's the income and expenditure account will be the answer for the loss of furniture. So it is coming under the debit side of income and the expenditure account. And this question is very easy question. Which one of the following accounting equation is correct? So asset is equal to liability minus ownership equity. It may not be an answer because in the balance sheet, one side will be the asset, another side will be equity as well as the liability. So if you add both, then will be equal to asset. So second will be asset plus liability equal to owner equity. May not be. So asset and liability is more than the owner's equity, so it may become an asset equal to liability plus owner's equity is the answer. It's also from financial management. It's very plus 2 level question. It's a very easy question, and so much of questions will be there, like again from goodwill, and I'll ask notes from bank accounting, and also like most of the questions from your own syllabus of your BCom. So don't worry, I have so much of questions to discuss, but time is up, I think. So it's time for questions. If you want, I'll discuss also. Hello? Hello? Hello, Deepan? Hello? Hello? Ninth question answer, please. Hello, Deepan? Hello? Deepan?
Am I audible?
Yes, pa.
Okay, okay.
So அதுல ஒரே கொஸ்டின் மட்டும் தான் இருக்கு. 9th கொஸ்டினுக்கு என்ன ஆன்சர் அப்படி கேட்டிருக்காங்க. 9th கொஸ்டினுக்கு வந்து சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட் தான் ஆன்சர் அந்த அவங்க கேட்ட இதுக்கு. ஸோ அவ்வளோதான். ஸோ மற்றபடி ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருந்தா அன்மியூட் பண்ணிட்டு கேட்க சொல்லுங்க, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
Okay, okay. So participants here. You can proceed now.
ஒரு நிமிஷம்ப்பா. இங்க யூனிவர்சிட்டியோடைய ப்ரீவியஸ் இயர் கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்ஸ் வந்து பாண்டிச்சேரி இந்த என் ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதுமா? யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதுங்களா தீபன்?
இல்லண்ணா
ஹலோ
தெரியல.
தீபன், யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதுங்களா?
இல்லண்ணா.
ஓ, யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியலையா? ஐயோ, இப்போ என்ன ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுது உங்களுக்கு?
இல்ல வெறும் பிளாக்கா தான் இருக்கு, ஒன்றும் தெரியல.
ஐயோ, ரொம்ப நேரம் பேசணும் சொல்லவே இல்லை நீங்க.
இல்ல இப்போ ஜஸ்ட் நீங்க பிரசன்ட் பண்ணதானே தெரிஞ்சது.
ஓகே இருங்க, அப்ப நான் திருப்பி ரீப்ரசென்ட் பண்ணவா? ஐ திங்க் அதான் நல்லதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நீங்க இப்போ क्वेश्चन பேப்பர் அனலைஸ் பண்ணீங்களா?
ஓகே இருங்க,
அது வரைக்கும் முடிஞ்சது, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை.
ஓகே ஓகே. ஓ, இப்போ தெரியுதுங்களா பாருங்க யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஸ்கிரீன்?
இல்லண்ணா. அமரன். ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியல அண்ணனுக்கு கொஞ்சம்.
பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுது பாருங்க. எனக்கு
இப்ப தெரியுதுண்ணா.
இப்போ வந்து லைப்ரரி வெப்சைட்ல வந்து டைரக்டா இங்க வந்து இந்த சைட்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா டிஸ்கவர் அகாடமிக்ஸ் அட்மிஷன் எக்ஸாமினேஷன் பக்கத்துல லைப்ரரி இருக்கும். அதை கிளிக் பண்ணீங்கன்னா லைப்ரரி வெப்சைட் உள்ள போல. ஸோ கீழே பாத்தீங்கன்னா யூஸ்ஃபுல் லிங்க்ஸ்ல வந்து லைப்ரரின்னு ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா? அந்த லைப்ரரி ஆப்ஷனை கிளிக் பண்ணீங்கன்னா லைப்ரரிக்குள்ள என்டர் ஆயிடுங்க. எஸ். ஸோ நம்ம லைப்ரரிக்குள்ள என்டர் ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் இங்க கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்ஸ் இந்த ரைட் சைட் கார்னர்ல பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனிவர்சிட்டி, தென் டுட்டோரியல், அதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த தேர்ட் ஒன் ஃப்ரம் த ரைட் சைட்ல கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்ஸ் இருக்கும். அதுல போனீங்கன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எடுத்தோடனே அக்கௌண்டிங் அண்ட் டாக்ஸேஷன் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கும். அது கீழே வந்தீங்கன்னா காமர்ஸ் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கும். ஸோ இப்போ நீங்க அக்கௌண்டிங் டாக்ஸேஷன் கொஸ்டின் டெவலப் பண்ணிக்கணும்னா இதுல இருக்கு ஃப்ரம் த பிகினிங் 2018, 17, 16 இருக்கு. காமர்ஸ்ல வந்து பேலன்ஸ் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கு. அதுதான். ஸோ கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்ஸ் வந்து இங்கே தான் இருக்குது, இந்த ஸ்க்ரீனில் யார் வேணால் டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அண்ட் அதே மாதிரி உங்களோட லிங்க்ஸ் இருந்துச்சுன்னா என்கிட்ட ஒரு நெட்டோடைய 10,000 கொஷின்ஸ் இருக்குது, நீங்கள் அதை கூட கோத்ரூ பண்ணலாம். நான் அதை கூட உங்களுக்கு ஷேர் பண்ணுறேன். கொஷின்ஸ் ஏதாவது கேட்கலாம். இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ஸ்க்ரீனில் வந்து அக்கௌண்டிங் டாக்ஸேஷன், பிஸ்னஸ் ஃபைனான்ஸு எல்லா கொஷின்ஸுமே இருக்குது. ஈவன் பிஹெச்டி கொஷின்ஸ் கூட இதில் இருக்குது. நீங்கள் எல்லாத்தையுமே கோத்ரூ பண்ணலாம். ஸோ தட்ஸ் இட். எனி கொஷின்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ்?
So participant side ல இருந்து ஏதாவது क्वेश्चंस இருக்கா? You can ask in Tamil also. தமிழ்ல கூட கேளுங்க.
அன்மியூட் பண்ணிட்டு கேளுங்க, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
இல்ல நீங்க பிகாம்ல படிச்ச எதனா தியரிஸ் அந்த மாதிரி எதனா டவுட்ஸ் இருந்தாலும் கேளுங்க.
ஓகே. யாரும் இல்லை.
I think no question from that side.
ஓகேம்மா, வேற ஏதாவது சொல்லணுமா?
ஓகே, இங்க நீங்க கொஸ்டின் இப்போ ஏதாவது இல்லைன்னா கூட ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்தா வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்ல இருக்கீங்கல்ல, நீங்க அதுல கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேளுங்க. ஏன்னா நீங்க ஒரு 15-16 பேர் இருப்பீங்க. ஒருத்தவங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சது இன்னொருத்தவங்களுக்கு தெரியாம இருக்கலாம். அப்படின்ற போது உங்களுக்குள்ளே நீங்க இது என்ன பியர் குரூப் ஸ்டடின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஒரு குரூப்பா வந்து உங்களுக்குள்ளே நீங்க உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச டவுட்ஸை கிளாரிஃபை பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸோ அப்படி இல்லைன்னா பெருமாள் சாரை கூட நாங்கள் வந்து அந்த குரூப்ல ஜாயின் பண்ணி விடுறோம். நீங்க கொஸ்டின் ஏதாவது கேட்கணும்னா குரூப்லேயே கேளுங்க, அவர் ஆன்சர் பண்ணுவாரு. அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்குள்ளே கூட தெரிஞ்சா கூட ஆன்சர் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
ஓகே, நீங்க அதில் ஜாயின் பண்ணி விடுங்க, நான் அந்த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்ஸ்லாம் ஷேர் பண்ணி விடுறோம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
ஓகே, இல்லைண்ணா நாங்கள் ஆல்ரெடி கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்லாம் ஷேர் பண்ணியாச்சு. நீங்க அந்த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்லாம் ஷேர் பண்ணிட்டோம்.
இல்லம்மா, யூனிவர்சிட்டி என்ட்ரன்ஸ் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இல்ல, லைக் நான் கொஞ்சம் சப்போர்ட்டிங் டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ்.
ஓகே, ஜாயின் பண்ணி விடுறோம். தீபம் உங்களை ஜாயின் பண்ணி விடுவாரு.
ஓகே.
ஸோ அங்க கொரிஸ் ஏதாவது இருந்தால் நீங்க குரூப்ல வந்து அட்டென்டிவா இருந்து உங்களுக்குள்ள இருக்கிற கொரிஸ் அங்க சால்வ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். மற்றபடி வேற ஏதாவது கேட்கணும்னா கேட்கலாம்.
ஆனா உங்க ஐ திங்க் தேர் இஸ் நோ queries.
அந்த பாசிட்டிவ் திங்கர் கேட்டிருக்காரு, அதுல வந்து எந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் அதிகமா கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும்னா அதுக்கான ஆன்சர் வந்து என்னன்னா, நீங்க மோஸ்டா வந்து அக்கௌண்டிங் ஃபுல்லா கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணி தான் ஆகணும். அதுக்கப்புறம் சம் அதர் ஜென்ரல் நாலேஜ் அபவுட் லைக் பேங்கோட சிஆர்ஆர் ரேட்டு, ரெப்போ ரேட்டு, இந்த மாதிரி ஜென்ரலா இருக்கிற பேங்கிங் ஆஸ்பெக்ட்ஸ் எல்லாமும் சேர்த்து படிக்கணும். வேற யாரும் இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஓகே நான் திங்க்
ஓகே, அந்த இது ஓபிசி இதை பத்தி சொல்லிட்டீங்கல்ல, அந்த ஓபிசி சர்டிபிகேட் எடுத்துட்டு வரணும். நம்ம பாண்டிச்சேரி பசங்க நிறைய பேர் அட்மிஷனுக்கு வந்துட்டு சீட் இல்லாம போறது காரணமே ஓபிசி சர்டிபிகேட் யாருமே ரெனியூ பண்ணி வச்சிருக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ அதை கொஞ்சம் சொல்லிடுங்க, குரூப்ல ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க. ஓகே
ஓகே ஓகே. அதாவது ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் பிலாங் டு ஓபிசி கேட்டகரி அவங்க எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஐ திங்க் பாண்டிச்சேரிலாம் வந்து நீங்க வந்து பிசிஎம்ஆ இருப்பீங்க, எம்பிசியா இருப்பீங்க, பிசியா இருப்பீங்க, அதாவது இபிசி அந்த மாதிரி டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கேட்டகரியில் இருப்பீங்க. பட் when you apply to சென்ட்ரல் யூனிவர்சிட்டி லைக் பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனிவர்சிட்டி, நீங்க வந்து ஓபிசி என்சிஎல் சர்டிஃபிகேட் வாங்கணும். ஸோ அது எப்படின்னா, ஒன்ஸ் யூ ரைட் த எக்ஸாம் என்ட்ரன்ஸ், சப்போஸ் உங்க நேம் வந்துடுச்சுன்னா, நீங்க வந்து கிராக் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா, யூ ஷுட் பி அட்மிட்டட் இன் ஓபிசி கேட்டகரி ஒன்லி. ஓகேவா? அப்ப என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, நீங்க ஓபிசி எல்சிஎல், அதாவது அதர் பேக்வர்ட் கிளாஸ் நான் கிரிமிலியர் அப்படின்ற ஒரு சர்டிஃபிகேட் வாங்கணும். அது எங்கன்னா, நீங்க வந்து உங்க விஓ கிட்ட போய், நான் இந்த மாதிரி சென்ட்ரல் யூனிவர்சிட்டியில அப்ளை பண்றது, நான் இது எனக்கு ஓபிசி என்சிஎல் வேணும்னு கேட்டா அவங்க வந்து அதுக்கான சர்டிஃபிகேட் தருவாங்க. அதோட ஃபார்மட் வேற. ஸோ அதுலேயே அந்த வந்து ஓபிசி என்சிஎல் போட்டுட்டு உங்களோட கம்யூனிட்டி ஸ்பெசிஃபை பண்ணி கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஸோ நீங்க அது இல்லைன்னா நீங்க கண்டிப்பா வந்து உங்களால வந்து ஓபிசி கேட்டகரியிலே வர முடியாது. நீங்க ஜென்ரல்ல வருவீங்க. அப்ப ஜென்ரல்ல வந்து சீட் வந்து மெரிட்ல இருக்கும்போது கிடைக்கிற சான்சஸ் இல்லை. ஸோ ஓபிசிஸ் பார்க்கும்போது பாண்டிச்சேரி அண்ட் தமிழ்நாடு இவங்க எல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இந்த நான் சொன்ன எம்பிசி, ஓபிசி, பிசி, டிஎன்சி டிநோட்டிஃபைட் கம்யூனிட்டி, பிசிஎம் பேக்வர்ட் கிளாஸ் முஸ்லிம்ஸ், இடபிள்யூஎஸ், இது எல்லாம் வந்து இபிசி இவங்க எல்லாம் வந்து அந்த கேட்டகரியில தான் வருவீங்க. ஸோ இதை ஒரு தாடி வெரிஃபை பண்ணிங்க. எஸ்சிக்கு வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரே ஒரு கம்யூனிட்டி சர்டிஃபிகேட் இருந்தால் போதும். அதுக்கு மேல வேற எதுவும் வேணாம். அப்புறம் வந்து பாண்டிச்சேரி நேட்டிவ் இருக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்லாம் வந்து ப்ளீஸ் ட்ரை டு கெட் நேட்டிவ் சர்டிஃபிகேட். அதாவது டூரிங் தட் இன்டர்வியூ, அதாவது நம்ம வந்து அப்லோட் பண்ணும்போது, டாக்குமெண்ட் அப்லோட் பண்ணும்போது, சப்போஸ் நம்ம வி காட் என்ட்ரன்ஸ் எக்ஸாமினேஷன் அப்படின்னா, நீங்க வந்து நேட்டிவ் சர்டிஃபிகேட் வாங்கி வச்சுங்க. ஏன்னா பிஎஃப்ல வந்து 25% ரிசர்வேஷன் இருக்கு. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த நேட்டிவ் சர்டிஃபிகேட் பிளஸ் வந்து இந்த ஓபிசி என்சிஎல் இருந்தா கண்டிப்பா வந்து உங்களுக்கு ரிசர்வேஷன் கிடைக்கும். ஒன்ஸ் இஃப் யூ டோன்ட் ப்ரொவைட் நேட்டிவ் சர்டிஃபிகேட் ஆஃப் பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனியன் டெரிட்டரி, தென் யூ ஒன்ட் பி எனிமோர் இன் பாண்டிச்சேரி ரிசர்வேஷன் கேட்டகரி. ஸோ அதை கிளியரா பார்த்துக்குங்க. அப்புறம் இன்னொன்று நான் சொல்லணும், பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் நம்ம வந்து சிபிசிஎஸ், அதாவது சாய்ஸ் பேஸ்ட் கிரெடிட் சிஸ்டம் சொல்லுவாங்க. சப்போஸ் வந்து நீங்க எம்காம் பண்றீங்கன்னா, நீங்க வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு டூ எ சாஃப்ட் கோர் இன் எனி டிபார்ட்மெண்ட், சைக்காலஜியோ, இங்கிலீஷோ, இல்லை எனி சயின்ஸ் ஸ்ட்ரீம், இல்லை கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ், எம்பிஏ, அந்த மாதிரி இருந்தால் சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. அது வந்து அதர் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் போய் நீங்க பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸோ யூனிவர்சிட்டி வில் ப்ரொவைட் லாட் ஆஃப் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி டு டெவலப் யுவர் ஸ்கில்ஸ். அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ வந்து இதெல்லாம் டீட்டெயில்டா ஓரியன்டேஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம் சொல்லியாச்சு. ஸோ இப்ப இந்த மாதிரி வந்து செக்ஷன் பாத்தீங்கன்னா எக்ஸ்க்ளூசிவ்லி ஃபார் வந்து சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ், அதாவது ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரீமா. டுடே இப்போ வந்து நம்ம காமர்ஸ்ல வந்து போத் ஏடி அண்ட் பிஎஃப் பார்த்தோம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி குவரிஸ் ஏதாவது வந்ததுன்னா உங்க செக்ஷன்ல அண்ணன் கிட்ட நீங்க வந்து டைரக்டா பேசலாம். ஸோ நம்ம எஸ்டே கிரியேட் பண்ண அந்த பிஎஃப் ஏடிக்கு தனியான ஒரு குரூப்ல வி வில் ஜாயின் அண்ணா டுடே. ஸோ அவர் உங்களுக்கு கண்டிப்பா ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுவாரு. இப்ப பெரும்பாலான பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஆக்சுவலி ஹஸ் பீன் டூயிங் திஸ் ஓரியன்டேஷன் லாஸ்ட் 3 years. அவங்க பிஹெச்டி பண்ணும்போது ஈவன் தே விசிட்டட் சம் காலேஜ் லைக் டேக், அங்கெல்லாம் போய் வாண்டடா அவங்களே போய் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு அவேர் பண்ணி இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு அப்படின்ட்டு சொல்லி அவங்களுக்கான மெட்டீரியல் எல்லாம் கொடுத்து எடுத்துட்டு வராங்க. யூ கான்ட் சி திஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் பர்சன்ஸ் நவடேஸ் இன் பாண்டிச்சேரி. அதனால வந்து நீங்க ஜஸ்ட் அவரை கண்டிப்பா யூட்டிலைஸ் பண்ணிக்கணும். அந்த மாதிரி இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம்ல யாரெல்லாம் கலந்துக்கலையோ, சப்போஸ் இந்த கூகுள் மீட் ஒன்றும் நோ ப்ராப்ளம். இதோட யூடியூப் லிங்க், அதாவது நாங்கள் உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்குறோம், அந்த வீடியோலே இருக்கும். இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு சி ஒன்ஸ் அகைன், நீங்க யூடியூப்ல போய் கூட பார்த்துக்கலாம். ஸோ உங்களை இன்னும் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து அப்ளை பண்ண போறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா, திரும்பி அவங்கள வந்து நம்ம குரூப்ல ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்குவோம். அதாவது எம்காம், ஏடி அண்ட் பிஎஃப்க்கு தனியா ஒரு குரூப் போட்டு அவங்களுக்கு வந்து எக்ஸ்க்ளூசிவ்லி ஃபார் இதுக்காக நம்ம ட்ரைன் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ யாரும் வந்து ஒரி பண்ணிக்க வேண்டாம். ஸோ யாரும் ஒரி பண்ணிக்க வேணாம். அப்புறம் லாங்குவேஜ் நான் சொல்றது, நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட்ல இருந்து சொன்னது லாங்குவேஜ். ஏன்னா நிறைய பேர் வந்து ரூரல் பேக்ரவுண்ட்ல படிச்சுட்டு வரும்போது அவங்களுக்கு வந்து லாங்குவேஜ் கொஞ்சம்